Assalamu alaikum students, grade 9 mathematics 4024. I am back with another video on EOY paper questions, and this time we will be solving question number 5. And recently we have solved question number 1, 2, 3 of your EOY exam paper. If you have not seen that video, you can go to the channel and watch that video. And this time we will be solving question number 5. Question number 5 is basically the algebra part, and most of the students like algebra, so I think this video will be very interesting for you. In this question we have basically three parts. The first part is of 2 marks, the second part again is of 2 marks, and the third part is of 3 marks. So this is a total of 7. So the total mark of the question is 7, and it has been subdivided into three parts. And in the first part, first I will read out the language of the question. The question says we have to expand and simplify, and we have the question as we have two brackets. The first bracket is 2x plus 1, and the second bracket is x plus 4. So expand and simplify. Expand means you have to remove the brackets, and you know how to remove the brackets. There are two brackets which are being multiplied, and we have to multiply both the brackets. So we will split one bracket and we will copy the next bracket as it is. And I have solved it for your convenience. This is the question. Question number 5, part A. We have two brackets, 2x plus 1 and x plus 4. Since we have to do two things, the first thing is expand. Expand means we have to remove these brackets. And when we will remove these brackets, we have to multiply these two. And the method for multiplying two brackets is that we have to split one bracket and we copy the next bracket as it is. So we will be splitting the first bracket, as you guys can see that I have make a line over here. I will split this into 2x and plus 1. So I will first write 2x, and then I will copy this bracket as it is, that is x plus 4, and then I will write this part which is plus 1. So plus 1, and then again this bracket x plus 4 as it is. So this is the method of multiplying two brackets. You have to split one bracket, and you have to copy the next bracket two times because there are two terms in the first bracket. So you will write the first term first and then the bracket and then the next term with the bracket. So now you have to multiply it. 2x will be multiplied with x. 2x when multiplied with x gives me 2x square. And when 2x will be multiplied with 4, since there are two terms in the bracket, so I will have to multiply 2x with x and 4 as well. So this will be plus, and 2x will be multiplied with 4, so it will give me 8x. 2 times 4 is 8. And again I have to do the same thing over here as well. 1 will be multiplied with x, and 1 will also be multiplied with 4. So when positive 1 will be multiplied with x, it will give me x, and when positive 1 will be multiplied with positive 4, this will give me 4. You don't have to add them. This 1 and this 4 will be multiplied. You don't have to add them. Some students do that mistake. They add these two and they write 5. So this is not the thing. You have to multiply. Bracket means since there is no sign, so we have a multiplication sign over here, and we have to multiply 1 with x. 1 times x will be x, and 1 times 4 will be 4. So this was the part of expansion. This is expansion. Basically, we have expanded, we have removed the brackets. Now we will be doing simplification. Simplification means we have to add the like terms, and there are only two like terms, 8x plus x. So we will just add them. 2x square will be as it is, and 8x, this is basically 1x. So 8x plus 1x will be 9x. So this will be 9x, and positive 4 will be as it is. Since there are no like terms, no more like terms left, so this will be our answer, because we only have to do two things in this question. The first was expand, and the second one was simplify. So 2x square plus 9x plus 4 is our final answer, and that is a 2-mark question. So 2 mark is enough for this type of working. So moving on to part B. Part B again is of 2 marks, and in part B we have two fractions that are being added up, and the question is saying that we have to write as a single fraction in its simplest form. Means we have to add these two fractions. This is the only way we will be getting a single fraction. So we will add these two fractions, and you know that whenever we have to add fractions, we have to take LCM. So we will start off with taking the LCM. This is part B, 3 upon x plus 4 upon x plus 2. What I have done over here is that I have taken the LCM. and the LCM will be both the denominators will be written together. So this will be x and this will be x plus 2, and I will just cross multiply it. This x plus 2 will be multiplied with 3, and this x will be multiplied with 4. So I have written x 3, and then inside the bracket I have written x plus 2, then positive sign, and 4 multiplied by x will give me 4x. And now since I have to write it as a single fraction, so I will just simplify it. I will just expand. I will multiply 3 with x and 2. 3 1 multiplied with x give me 3x, and 3 1 multiplied with positive 2 give me positive 6, and this 4x will be as it is, and the denominator will stay as it is because I don't have to multiply it. Since I just have to write it as a single fraction, so only one denominator will be required, so this is enough. You don't have to multiply it. This is fine. So I will just simplify it in the numerator. Since we have two like terms, the first one is 3x and the second one is 4x. So 3 plus 4 will give me 7x. So this will be 7x, and plus 6 will be as it is, and I will just write whole the denominator as it is, and this is my final answer, that is x upon x plus 2. You don't have to multiply it, it's just fine. So this is my final answer. This, I have represented my question in the form of a single fraction. So this was again a 2-mark question in which you just have to take the LCM. There were two fractions, and just take the LCM and then simplify it to get your final answer. Moving on to part C. Part C we have solve, and you guys know the meaning of solve. Solve means we have to find the value of x. We have to find x, and we have to find x. So we will start off first with simplifying. The question is, so 10 upon x is equals to x plus 3. So I have written the question over here, 10 upon x equals to x plus 3. Since I have to solve for x, so I have to gather all the x on one side. So I will shift this x on other side, and it will be just as this. It will look like this. 10 is equals to x, x plus 3. I have to multiply this x with x and 3. So it will be 10 is equals to, when x will be multiplied with x, this will give me x square, and when x multiplied with 3, this will give me 3x. And since I have to solve it, this is basically a quadratic equation. Since there is an equals to sign and a square power, so this is a quadratic equation. So I will just shift this 10 on the other side, and will convert it into the standard form. X square plus 3x minus 10 equals to 0. This is positive 10. When it will go on the other side, it will become negative. So this will be minus 10 equals to 0. Since you have to find the value of x, so there are two methods now. You can go for the formula method. You know the formula method, which is very much popular in the students. You have to find the value of a, b, and c, and then you have to apply the quadratic formula, which is minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. This is the quadratic formula, and you can solve this question by that method also. But I think that it is easier to make the factors and do it with the factorization method. It will take less time, and you don't need to memorize the formula as well. So there will be no needing of formula. We will be solving it with the factorization method. If you want to solve it with the quadratic formula method, you can solve it. You will get the same answer. So I will strongly recommend you to solve it with the quadratic formula as well. Right now I'm solving it with the factorization method because it is easier for me to make the factors, because I know that I have to make the factors of 10, and I know that 5 multiplied by 2 is 10 and 5 minus 2 is 3. So 5 and 2 are the factors. So I think it is easier for us to solve it with factorization because it will take less time. So since I have discovered the two factors, I have to multiply, I have to make 10. Okay, I have to make the factors of 10, and 5 and 2 are the two factors which when subtracted give me 3. So I will be using those two factors 5 and 2, but you have to make sure the sign of the middle term belongs to the greater factor. So I will give 5 as positive sign, and since there is a negative, so I have to give 2x as negative, and then again minus 10. This is the middle term breaking method. You guys must have been familiar with this method. You have to break the middle term in two factors in such a way that when multiplied give me 10x square, and when added or subtracted give me 3x. So these are the two factors, 5x and 2x when multiplied give me minus 10x square, and then when we subtract 5x minus 2x, it will give us plus 3x. So now I just have to take the common. These are the first two pairs. I will take common from them. I will take common from them as well. I see that there are 2x and there is 1x. So I can take x as common. So when I will take x as common, this will be x plus, and since I have taken x common, so this will be x plus 5. And again, I have to take some common from these two terms. So I can see that there are negative signs. So I can take a negative sign as common. And x is here, x is not here. So I cannot take x as common, but I can take 2 as common. When I will take 2 as common, this will be x. Since I have taken negative as common, so it will be positive inside the bracket. And I know that 2 times 5 is 10. So this will be x plus 5 equals to 0, and I can assure that I am doing it correctly. How? Because these two brackets are exactly similar. When these two brackets are same, it means that you are doing it correctly. So I will just write this bracket 1. I have taken x plus 5 as common. So when will I take x plus 5 as common? The other things which are outside the bracket will also come inside a bracket. So this will be x minus 2 in the other bracket. This is the factorization method. This is the middle term breaking method, in which we break the middle term into two factors, and then we take common and form two brackets. So this is the factorization. We have divided this quadratic equation into two factors, and now I will just solve them by putting them equals to 0. First, I will put x plus 5 equals to 0. When I will put x plus 5 equals to 0, this plus 5 will go on the other side, and the first answer of x, the first value of x is minus 5, and the other value will be x minus 2 equals to 0, and when minus 2 will be shifted on the other side, this will be positive 2. So the two values of x is coming out to be, the first value is coming out as x is equals to minus 5, and the second value is coming out as x is equals to 2. So since this was a quadratic equation, so there must be two answers. So these are the two answers which I am getting, minus 5 and plus 2. So this was a 3-mark question, and you can also solve it with the quadratic formula as I told you, and you will be getting the same answer. So try it yourself. Go for the quadratic formula method and solve it, and do comment me your answers. If you still have any query, you can write it. We will discuss it, inshallah. Thank you.